Hey there fellows, in this video I'm gonna teach you how to make the cool anime spinning ball effect in Blender. Okay, so hit up a new Blender file, select default view, press X and delete it. Then, okay, let me turn the screencast real quick. Alright, press Shift A, add a mesh, use sphere, have it on default, 32 segments, okay. You can change it, okay, we're gonna subdivide it later on anyway, okay. Yeah. So now we're gonna go to edit mode and select all of the vertices. Okay, press A to select all of them. Go to vertex object data properties. Select a add a new vertex group and assign it. Okay, assign all of these vertices to this group. Now go back to object mode by hitting tab. Go to modifiers properties, add modifier, and we are gonna first add a smooth modifier and select the vertex group that we created. Okay, and have it on repeat 30. Okay, right now it's deformed quite a bit and inwards. So what fix this, you can go back to edit mode and add subdivisions. Okay, what this will do, it will smooth it out and it will look like this. Okay, that's why I told you to have it on 32. But anyway, now what we're gonna do is vertex weight edit. Okay, what this modifier will do is it will control the fall off as well as how the noise influences the mesh. Okay, so for right now, the fall off is at linear, so we want to change it to custom and inverse it. Okay, now we're gonna add a new mask texture. This is the important part, and that's why we're using a vertex weight edit. Okay, so we're gonna use a mask texture as well, or a mask modifier. Okay, so add a new texture and click on. Okay, so I clicked on over here. Okay, to preview the texture, or you can go over to texture properties and change the texture type to clouds. Okay, and then have it on default. Okay, then what you're gonna do is add a new modifier, which will be a mask modifier. Hence the reason why we are using a mask texture. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and select the vertex group. Right, next we're gonna increase the threshold to mask or hide few of the vertices. Okay, this you can play around with and change the settings as you like. Okay, I'm gonna have it like this, and then we're gonna deform the mouse. So to deform it, to make it twist and turn, we're gonna add a simple deform modifier and increase the twistingness to 360. And for right now it's in facing the x-axis, we want to make it straight, so select z-axis because that's the top part. Okay, makes sense. All right, now that's done for the whole mesh part. We're gonna create a new collection and name it mesh and drag the sphere to the mesh collection. Okay, now go to shading. Okay, we're gonna add some shaders. So select the default shader. Okay, we need the principal BSDF here. Okay, and now we're gonna add a color ramp. Okay, so shift A, color ramp, and change it from linear to constant. Then change it. Okay, make sure the left hand side values are a bit darker. Okay, so have it at dark blue, and this one will be light blue. And select another one to add more definitions. So around this, around a little bit light blue. Okay, and connect the color to base color. And also, if you want, you can change the emission. Yeah, you can add this as well and increase the strength. Okay, just a little bit. Okay, that's up to you. Now you can play around, but it's not showing anything special. Okay, so for that we're gonna add a diffuse BSDF. As you know, for any toon shader, basic or the simplest toon shader setup, you have a diffuse BSDF, then shader to RGB, and connect it to color ramp. What this will do, it will mix and match all the colors in the color ramp, like so. And you can play around with the values. Make sure you're in render well rendered mode to preview it, okay, not in materials tab, okay. This will be the main one as we'll be rendering out, okay. And yeah, maybe you can have something like this, okay, right? Now, let's go ahead and duplicate the mesh, okay. So to duplicate, what you're going to do is press Shift T to duplicate and right click to put it in place. Now press S to scale it and scale it a little bit downward, okay. What this will do is will differentiate the color here. And right now we're gonna rename it to color 1, okay. But for the mesh we created, okay, this one has the mesh, the color 1 shader, and I'm gonna add a different one. So duplicate it and rename it color 2, alright. Change the color here a little bit, okay. Maybe significantly a lot, okay. So something like this, okay. Anything you want. Just an example, okay. I'm gonna give a link to the Blender file in my Gumroad anyway, so you can tweak it around later on. So I'm just gonna show you how I made it, okay. Now, for the inner portion, you're gonna have to change the alpha value and decrease it, okay. Have it at 0.3, and then you'll have to duplicate it again, okay. You can have this at least 1 or 2, okay. It's up to you how many you want to add, okay. I'm just doing it for, you know, adding more color in the inner portion, okay. And then you can change the color value over here as well, yeah. Like this, and scale it down a little bit, yeah. Now let's render and preview it, okay. It's showing something like this, right? Now let's go ahead and animate it, okay, so that it looks better, right? So first and foremost, let's set up the camera first. Zoom out a little bit, okay. Press Control Alt 0 to have the current view into that. Let me zoom in a little bit and press Control Alt 0 again, okay. G and put it in place, right? Great. Now let's mess around with the values. Go to render preview mode, okay. And now we're gonna change. There is an animate property option here, so we're gonna twist and turn over here, and I'm gonna have the time frame at 100, okay. So first, by default it's at 360, so let's add a keyframe here at the first frame. Go to 100 frame and decrease it to -360, okay. So it twists all the way in the inverse direction, and add a keyframe like so, right? Like so. And now we're gonna do the same thing over here. We're gonna deform it to up to from, okay, let's change it to 180, okay. Make it a little bit different, okay, so that it doesn't rotate at the same speed as the main sphere, okay. And also the twisting should be a little bit different, okay. So at 180, add a keyframe, and at -100, make it -180, okay. Do the same thing for sphere 2 as well. At the first frame, make it 180, add a keyframe, then go to 100, make it -180, and add a keyframe, right? Alright, let's preview it like that. Alright, looks something like this. Okay, good. Now I think you can actually change the factor value a little bit, okay. 0.6 of the main sphere as well, 0.63 or something, okay. And I want to add more definitions, so go to edit mode and subdivide it, okay. Does it look a little bit better? I don't know. I suppose it does. Maybe I should increase the mask value a little bit here, okay. Yeah, now it seems a bit better. It's more, you know, more of a twisting, and okay, great. You can change the colors here, okay. This is just an example, okay. And now I'm gonna go ahead and render it, okay. So for rendering, you have to change the setting. So go to render properties, and change the filmic to transparent if you're using if you're hoping for a transparent background. Alright, now next up you go to output properties and change the resolution. So at numpad 0, okay, we want to have it set at same resolution. Sorry about the background noise. Okay, now let's decrease the value here. Okay, let me decrease it and increase it here, like so. Okay, this should do. Okay, make sure the values are, even. Okay, both of these should be divisible by 2, otherwise it won't render out. And then change the output location to over here, and then click on render animation, and then after a while I will get back to you. Okay, there is one more thing you have to change. Change the PNG to SMPEG and now render out the animation. Okay, so this is the result here. Okay, if this is something you want, then go ahead. But what we're gonna go ahead and do is add a different effect. So the effect I showed you in the fourth at the starting of the video is due to messing around with the texture, or rather the texture size. Okay, so we can actually add keyframes to the texture size here. So right now it's at something like 0.25. Okay, so we want to change it, increase it to something like this. Yeah, and add a keyframe. Then go to 100 keyframe and change it to default, which was 0.25, right? And add a keyframe. Let me foresee if it, looks better. No, I'm gonna increase it a little bit, something like this. Okay, yeah. And then I'm gonna render out the animation here. So click on hit render animation. Here's the animation at play. So yeah, there you have it. So that's it for the tutorial, and I'll see you guys on the next one.